Commanders fans, what went down on Monday night was absolutely brutal. And now we have to talk about something nobody wants to hear but everybody needs to know. A Bears star just exposed a critical weakness in our defense. While new injury updates keep making the road even tougher before the divisional showdown against Dallas. But you know what? There are also some roster moves that could change things around. Stick with me till the end, because this one's about to get intense. Look, I'm gonna shoot straight with you, because that's how we roll. DeAndre Swift just did something no opposing player should ever be able to do. Publicly humiliate one of our own defenders. And I'm not even talking about what happened on the field. I'm talking about Swift literally telling reporters that he wasn't surprised. Quan Martin missed that crucial tackle. Did you see that 55-yard play? I did. I watched it once. I watched it twice. I watched it 10 times. And every single time, it hurts more. Martin had a clean shot, could have pushed Swift out of bounds or at least wrapped him up. And what happened? Nothing. Swift ran through him like he wasn't even there. But here's the part that's actually concerning. When reporters asked Swift about that exact moment, you know what he said? That he already knew Martin was gonna miss that tackle. Why? Because during game prep, the Bears noticed Martin already had 6 missed tackles this season. 6 in only 6 games. Let me tell you this, when an opponent can not only identify your weaknesses, but also exploit them live on national TV, we've got a serious problem. Martin was a second-round pick back in the 2023 draft. This was supposed to be his breakout year. He took over the #1 safety role after Jeremy Chin left, and everyone thought he was ready. But do you know what his Pro Football Focus grade is? 42.4. Out of 140 graded safeties, Martin ranks 128th. Let me repeat that, 128th out of 140. That's not just bad, that's catastrophic. Now answer me this, how is it possible that Adam Peters spent millions beefing up the defensive line this offseason, and yet we're still letting running backs like Swift go off for 175 total yards and a touchdown? Where's the improvement? Where's the progress? And don't get me wrong, Martin wasn't the only one who messed up Monday night. Marshon Latimore's effort on that same play was questionable too. But Latimore's a proven veteran. Martin's supposed to be our future in the secondary. And if other teams already see him as the weak link, what do you think the Cowboys are planning for Sunday? Because I'll tell you this, Dak Prescott and Kellen Moore are absolutely watching that film right now. They're probably already drawing up plays specifically designed to pick on Martin. And if you thought Swift was ruthless, wait till you see what CeeDee Lamb does to a secondary ranked among the worst in the league. The bottom line is this, Martin needs a major turnaround, and he needs it now. Not into weeks. Not after the bye now. Because every team we face from this point on is going to do exactly what Swift did, study his weaknesses and go right after him. And you know what's most frustrating about all this? Martin's got talent. We saw flashes of it last year. But talent without consistency means nothing in this league. The Bears exposed him. Swift humiliated him in front of the world. And now the entire NFC East is taking notes. So I'm asking you, can Martin bounce back from this? Does he have the mentality to turn humiliation into motivation? Because if not, we need to start exploring alternatives immediately. We can't afford to have a safety that's basically being targeted on purpose every week. This isn't just about pride. This is survival in a division where the Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants are waiting for the smallest sign of weakness. And believe me, after Monday night, everybody knows exactly where our soft spot is. If that shocks you, wait till you hear this next part. Now let's talk about what's complicating our entire outlook, injuries. This is where things start getting real messy, because we've got good news and bad news. And you need to fully understand how much all of this really matters. Let's start with the bad. Noah Brown just got placed on injured reserve. That means he'll be out for a minimum of 4 games. Dan Quinn said Brown's groin injury didn't respond well after trying to practice last week. And here's the detail nobody's talking about. Brown doesn't need surgery. But he's not coming back anytime soon either. Remember when we signed Brown this offseason? He was supposed to be our reliable WR3, a veteran who could contribute right away. And what did we get? 3 catches on 7 targets for 36 yards into games. That's his entire output for the season. Let me tell you this, we can't keep waiting around for Brown. His injury record this season is a big concern. And while Quinn says he'll be back after those 4 games, I wouldn't bet the house on it. The guy just can't stay healthy. Now here's something interesting. the Commanders are bringing in Treylon Burks for a visit this Wednesday. Coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences. Peters knows he can't rely on Brown anymore, so he's exploring options. Burks, a former first-round pick by the Titans, hasn't lived up to expectations, but he's got the physical tools we need. Now, the update we've all been waiting for. Terry McLaurin is finally practicing this week. After missing 3 games with a quad injury, our WR1 is back. But here's my concern: how healthy is he actually? McLaurin signed that long-term extension and then got hurt almost immediately. His season start's been, let's be real, disappointing. Now he's got to come back and prove he's worth every dime of that deal. Jaden Daniels has been carrying this offense on his back these last couple of weeks, especially with the defense struggling, and he needs his top weapon back. Quinn confirmed that McLaurin will be on the field this week, but we don't know how much he'll actually participate. Wednesday's just a light practice, so Thursday and Friday will really tell the story for his status against Dallas. And I'll say this: if McLaurin's not 100%, I'd rather he sit out. We can't risk him getting hurt worse and losing him for the rest of the season. Because look what's happened without him. Deebo Samuel has been absolutely killing it as our main offensive weapon. Luke McCaffrey stepped up big with Brown out. Chris Moore and Jalen Lane have also made plays, but none of them are Terry McLaurin. None have that chemistry with Daniels that takes this offense to another level. Here's a stat you need to understand. Despite all these injuries, our offense still ranks 7th in the NFL in points per game and 12th in total yards. You know what that means? That when McLaurin's back to full strength, this offense can be flat-out explosive, and there's more. Jonathan Jones, our cornerback who's been on IR with a hamstring issue, is finally in his 21-day practice window. He was spotted on the side fields last week and is now officially back practicing, and you know what? We desperately need him. Our secondary's been terrible this year. We just watched Swift run all over us. Martin's struggling. Latimore doesn't look like the all-pro he used to be. We need help, and Jones might be that guy. Quinn said they expected him back after his month on IR. And here we are. But the real question is, will it be enough? Can a single cornerback fix everything that's wrong with our defense? I don't think so, but he can definitely help. And don't forget about Dorrance Armstrong and his hamstring injury. No updates until Thursday or Friday. But losing Armstrong would be another big blow for a defense that's already struggling. So tell me, how can we have this many injuries in key spots? Is it bad luck? Conditioning issues? Pure misfortune? Because this isn't normal. Every team deals with injuries, but we seem to be absolutely wrecked by them. Let me tell you this, our medical and conditioning staff better start reevaluating everything. Because if we keep losing core players every week, it won't matter how good Jaden Daniels is or how much talent we've got on paper. You can't win in this league without your best players on the field. The good news: McLaurin's coming back. The bad news: Brown's out indefinitely. Jones is back practicing, which helps. But Armstrong's status is still a question mark. And all of this is happening right before a massive game against Dallas. Are the Commanders ready to handle all this? Can Quinn steer through the storm and keep this team competitive? Because I truly believe this moment defines our season. Either we bounce back and prove we're a playoff team, or we collapse under the weight of injuries and inconsistency, but that's nothing compared to what's next. Now let's talk about the roster moves Peters made this week, because this is where you see our general manager's mindset. And let me tell you, some of these moves are more interesting than they look at first glance. First off, the Commanders made it official: they've signed defensive end Drake Jackson, a former second-round pick by the San Francisco 49ers. To make room on the 53-man roster, Noah Brown was placed on IR, like we discussed. But let's focus on Jackson for a sec. Why does this matter? Because Jackson's a former second-round pick who's only 25 years old. Things didn't work out in San Francisco, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have talent. Peters is betting he can unlock the potential the Niners couldn't. Let me tell you this is the kind of move I love from Peters. He's not chasing big-name guys with massive contracts. He's looking for young, hungry players who need a second shot. And if Jackson can contribute even a little bit to our defensive front, this move's already a win. But here's the interesting part. What does this mean for our D-line rotation? Is Peters seeing something in Jackson that can help fix our pressure issues? Because let's be honest, our pass rush has been inconsistent this year. Now, the second move, Julian Good-Jones is back, signed to the practice squad. Good-Jones has been with the Commanders the last 2 seasons and this past offseason. He was placed on IR and later reached a settlement, but now he's back. Why bring him back? Because he knows the system, he's familiar with the team, and depth on the offensive line is always valuable. To make space, Tyler Cooper was released from the practice squad. So here's my question, is this move just precautionary? Or is there quiet concern about the state of our O-line? Good Jones might not be a star, but he's a reliable veteran presence who can step in if things get rough. I think Peters is being proactive here. He knows we've got a short week heading into the Dallas game and wants all bases covered. And I love that it shows he's thinking the steps ahead. But here's the bigger question, are these moves enough? Jackson and Good Jones are solid additions, but are they game changers? Will they fix our defensive issues or help protect Jaden Daniels better? Honestly, probably not. These are depth moves smart, but not transforming the team type of moves. And that's what worries me a little, because after what happened Monday night, we need more than depth. We need impact players. We need guys who can step in and make a difference right now. And while I appreciate what Peters is doing, I'm not sure these moves alone are enough to fix our biggest problems. But here's the positive, Peters is active. He's not sitting back hoping things just get better on their own. He's looking for answers, bringing in players, keeping the roster fresh and competitive. And that's exactly what we need from our GM. After years of front office chaos and bad decisions, we finally have someone who's constantly trying to improve this team. Remember the Bruce Allen days? Remember when our roster was full of bad contracts and players who didn't fit? Those days are over. Peters is building something different here. And even if every move doesn't work out, at least he's trying. Now the question is what's next? Because the trade deadline's coming fast. And there are rumors the Commanders might be looking to bolster the secondary. Should we pull the trigger on a big move? Should we give up a draft pick for an established cornerback? Let me tell you this, if there's a cornerback out there who can improve this secondary right now, Peters has to go get them. We can't wait till the offseason. We can't just hope Jones and Martin fix everything. We need help now. But I also get the other side. Peters doesn't want to mortgage our future for a short-term fix. He wants to build a sustainable contender, not a one-hit wonder. It's a fine balance, and I trust he'll find it. The moves to add Jackson and Good Jones are steps in the right direction. Small, but smart ones. And in a league where the margins are razor thin, these little moves can be the difference between winning and losing tight games. Are the Commanders building something special? I believe they are. Are we there yet? Not quite. But with Peters making sharp decisions and Quinn continuing to develop our young talent, we're definitely heading the right way. Now the key is to see whether these moves actually translate to wins on the field. Because at the end of the day, no matter how many roster tweaks you make, it doesn't mean a thing if you don't win. And with Dallas coming this Sunday, we need to start seeing results. So let's recap. Swift humiliated Martin, Brown's on IR but McLaurin's back. And Peters is making smart roster moves. 3 stories that sum up exactly where this team stands right now. So tell me, can Quan Martin bounce back from that public embarrassment and prove he's still the safety of the future we expected? Will McLaurin's return be enough to spark our offense against Dallas? And are these roster moves showing that Peters has a master plan or just putting out fires? Drop your takes in the comments because I really want to hear what you think. Are you worried about the secondary? Do you believe Martin can bounce back? Should we make a big trade before the deadline? If you're as passionate about this team as I am, if you live and breathe Burgundy and Gold, then you've got to be part of this community. Because this isn't just a YouTube channel. This is a family of fans who know exactly what it means to be devoted to this franchise. So here's what I'm asking. If this breakdown gave you a new perspective, if you learned something, or if you just enjoyed hearing someone who loves this team as much as you do, hit that like button. Subscribe, because I guarantee there will be more breaking Commanders news tomorrow. Turn on those notifications, because in this division, things change fast. The Cowboys are waiting. The Eagles are watching. The Giants are lurking. And we need to stay ready for every update, every headline, every move that can shift season. This is more than football. This is who we are. This is our passion. And together, as a community, we're gonna battle through this season with the same heart that's defined this franchise for decades. See you in the next video for more breakdowns, more updates, and more Burgundy and Gold talk. And remember, hail to the Redskins.